Do you have a solo?
Yeah, I do actually. Two. Multiple.
I'm ready, whenever you are.
Because I asked you and you said you were like,
The answer? Oh, sorry. No.
Okay. Prostitution is an age-old profession that has been around forever, and it's going to be around as long as there's demand for it. And the current state of, well, since it's illegal, it's hard to regulate it. It's hard to regulate STDs. It's hard to regulate. It's hard to it's hard for prostitutes to get justice for violence and rape, and it's not fair to just ignore prostitutes just because it's considered immoral, because they deserve rights. So illegal prostitution promotes violence, rape, and the spread of STDs within the underground society. California's current laws on prostitution are hindering us from fixing the problems related to prostitution, and creating a system of legal prostitution through legitimate brothels would solve the problem related to prostitution. So if we legalize prostitution in brothels or whorehouses, then we could have laws that require all prostitutes to get tested for STDs twice a month. We could provide medical services if they needed it, and an ability for them to report violent attacks to the police. Customers and abusive pimps often disregard prostitutes' liberties by attacking and sexually assaulting them. A study done by the Prostitution Research and Education Foundation, which is sponsored by Kaiser in San Francisco, found that as adults in prostitution, 82% have been physically assaulted, 83% have been threatened by weapons, 68% have been raped while working as prostitutes, and 84% reported current or past homelessness. So they're being attacked, and they're being raped, and they're treated unfairly by their customers and by pimps, and nobody's doing anything to stop it. And prostitutes knowingly or unknowingly spread STDs to customers, who often continue to spread the disease without knowing it. As a newspaper article in the Denver Post said, if HIV carriers are prostitutes, we should have ways of deterring them from continuing as prostitutes. But simply making it a higher class crime doesn't necessarily answer the question. This is a quote from The Lancet, which is one of the world's leading medical journals. And it says, rather than promoting opposition to prostitution, we should do better to promote human rights. So the current laws are hindering us from fixing the problems related to prostitution. Illegal prostitution creates an underground, unsafe world for prostitutes because most crimes related to them go unreported and unpunished because of fear of arrest or criticism by the police. So prostitutes, they don't report violent attacks most of the time because they think that they're going to be arrested. And a study the prohibition of prostitution stops us from testing and regulating the spread of STDs from prostitutes. So because it's illegal, nobody really knows how many prostitutes have how many prostitutes are carrying STDs, and we cannot regulate it or test it because the prostitutes aren't going to come forward because it's illegal. This is a quote from a former prostitute on an interview on National Public Radio in 2002. She said, "If prostitution were not such an underground activity, it would allow us to much more effectively address the serious problems of forced prostitution and juvenile prostitution and the other abuses which are part of the industry that operates completely in the shadows." Okay, keeping prostitution illegal denies prostitutes the attention they deserve and stigmatizes their problems. How much?
10 seconds.
Oh.